Greetings, ladies and gents. Welcome to another fantabulous episode of Yolk'd. I'm Kyle.
And I'm Paul. In today's episode, Windows 8 gets a facelift.
The FBI shuts down Silk Road.
AMD's R9 290X finally gets pricing.
Some guy kicks a lot of ass in GTA 5.
We talk about it.
And lastly, a whale shark who thinks he's James Franco.
Windows 8 has had a bit of a rocky road thus far in the PC space, but despite the Win8 hate that you'll easily find plastered throughout the internet, some folks are actually coming around to Microsoft's latest OS. If your biggest beef was the lack of a start button, the latest Windows 8.1 patch would like to have a word with you. The update was formally codenamed Windows Blue, and the final 8.1 release is slated for distribution via download to current Windows 8 users on October 17th. If you've been waiting to upgrade from XP, Vista, or 7 until something changed with the previous iteration of this software, you'll be able to buy a full retail copy of Windows 8.1 on October 18th. Indeed, pre-orders are already available. Apart from the blessed return of the start button, Windows 8.1 also sports more flexible tile sizes, better integration between the desktop and the start screen, and the glorious inclusion of a boot to desktop option, an announcement that was heralded by golden trumpets and a choir of angels. Windows 8.1 RT will also be launching at the same time, but nobody really cares about that.
Silk Road, the internet's largest black market, was shut down by the FBI earlier this week following the arrest of its founder Ross William Ulbricht, who's accused of money laundering, hacking, narcotics trafficking, conspiracy, and attempting to hire a hitman for over $100K. Millions of dollars in bitcoins have been seized in the process, bringing a state of panic to drug dealers who make transactions to the site on the reg. Since Silk Road works purely off of bitcoins and bitcoin transfers are irrevocable, any money held in a Silk Road account has been frozen indefinitely. You can expect Special K won't be too happy when he finds out the 5 large he fronted to Chili P for the 10 pounds of Colombian white is lost forever in a state of warranted seizures and federal investigation. In situations like this, one would suggest Shorty keep his head low before the snowbird throws lead and lays that buster down. Real talk.
Hello everyone, we have a very special episode of Take My Money today called BF4 Stravaganza. Anna, what exactly is BF4 Stravaganza?
Step right up, maggots. Battlefield 4 is almost here. Get your chips and beer bellies ready because you're gonna need it all for the swag. More guns, more lens flares, more filthy scrubs to slaughter for your next dubstep montage video. 360 no-scope, bro. But wait, there's even more Battlefield 4 from Razer. Are you ready? Razer BF4 BlackWidow. Oh yeah. Razer BF4 Taipan. Stir-fry Taipan. Razer BF4 Destructor 2. Explosion. Razer BF4 BlackShark. Tornado. If we had a fridge, we'd BF4 that too. But we don't. Think we're joking? We're dead serious. BF4 all day, every day.
Well, it was very interesting. Now over to Jenny for Q and Egg.
Hello everyone, welcome to another edition of Q and Egg. I'm here with Paul and Kyle, and we're going to answer your burning questions about the Newegg TV team and issues that come up on our videos. So the first question's for me, and Paul's going to read it.
Yes, so I'll read that for you, Jenny. This question comes from Jacob Long, and it says, for some reason Jenny gives me the feeling that she used to kill people for a living. What did you do before you came to Newegg? You seem like a badass.
That's a good question.
You know, I have a really, really varied work history. I did a little of this, a little of that. I was living with wolves before I came here. And, you know, I don't know, I have a few weird outside hobbies. I ride a Harley and I work on cars.
This one's from Symbol and Systems. Assuming no overclocking was involved, could a gaming PC use the cooler which comes stock with the i7-4770?
You know, it's funny you should ask that, Kyle. I have one of those stock coolers right here in my hand, which I really picked up before I had any idea we were going to ask this question.
Coincidence.
Short answer, yes, of course you can. They wouldn't send these with the processors unless they worked good enough for cooling, but good enough isn't always enough. And whereas you're not going to be dealing with heat issues if you're not overclocking, you will still be dealing with sound, and that's a big reason enough for me to go with an aftermarket cooler. If you can't spend the money, it's not a big deal. You can set up your system without it, no problem. But that's half or more than half the reason why I go with nicer aftermarket cooling.
And also, if you're running an i7-4770, it's a higher end processor. You're probably going to be doing a little bit more intensive gaming or running some higher end applications. So your CPU is going to get a little hotter than it normally would just idling or surfing the web. So it's I definitely recommend getting a higher end CPU cooler because they're just so much more efficient, and a lot of them are really cheap right now. So
I
And
concur.
Why not?
more cooling is always better than less cooling, and that's true for a lot of things.
Some like it hot.
Yeah. We told Mr. Lamb we needed a bigger couch, and he said no, we did not.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
write to him and complain.
we need a bigger couch. This is silly.
I have
This one's
one
comfortable.
I have one leg in and one leg out.
Kyle doesn't even fit on this couch.
Barely.
He's making the sacrifice for the rest of us.
I am.
Really, it's just the air quality in here that's getting sacrificed. This one comes from one of my recent mouse videos. Miker6570 says, what the heck is CPI? CPI is how SteelSeries refers to their lasers. And most people think that it's DPI, and so they're going back and forth like, what is DPI versus CPI? Do they mean the same thing? And they actually don't. DPI is dots per inch, which is a term from the printing world, which refers to how many dots per inch on a digital printed photograph or other image. And CPI is counts per inch, which actually refers to the way that your laser would communicate with your computer. So a laser, as it's scanning along, is counting and sending that information back to the computer. So the higher your CPI, the more information it can send back to the computer, which translates to faster cursor speeds and also better accuracy.
The original confusion with these terms came with optical mice because they kind of take a picture of the surface that's underneath your mouse. And it just kind of translated over. But it is confusing, but point here, Jenny is right.
Well, that wraps up this episode of Q and Egg. Please continue sending your questions in, and remember, they don't have to be the best way to configure your system. You can ask general questions about anyone on the Newegg TV team. This is our opportunity to get to know some of you better and for you to get to know some of us better, so keep them coming, guys.
And now it's time for our newest segment. Let's talk about GTA 5 because it's the closest we can come to playing it until we get home later tonight. A patch was pushed out on Tuesday that enabled the game's online functions, and as anyone who has played an online game before might have predicted, the influx of traffic was too much for Rockstar's servers to handle. The game's developers have promised to work on the stability issues ASAP so folks can enjoy shooting and running over other people instead of just computer-controlled NPCs. If you are still holding out for the PC release of GTA 5, a dubiously sourced but nonetheless drool-worthy post surfaced on Reddit this week with supposed screen caps of a PC build of the game. While commenters have noted inconsistencies in the screen caps themselves, and Rockstar still has not officially announced a PC version or a release date, they still can't keep us from dreaming of the high-res texture packs and 2560 by 1600 gameplay that we'll eventually be privy to on the PC version. For more on GTA 5, here's Kyle.
Brace yourselves, GTA 5 gameplay videos are coming. The latest in the bunch comes from YouTuber Clayman90, who goes by the gamer tag of Retchy, in what's being hailed as the greatest car chase in video game history. The 5-minute pulse-pounding chase scene takes you on an epic thrill ride that makes Stallone movies seem expendable. And while Retchy's ballsy stunt jumps and drive-by chopper sticky bombings thoroughly impress, it's his expert handling of that chromed-out Bugatti Veyron that has us changing our pants again and again. On the other end of the spectrum, the Los Santos Police Department might be regretting their decision to let intoxicated infants drive their vehicles. Finally, the video ends not with a bang, but with a as the suspect rides off a cliff and jumps out of his flying car before pulling his parachute and gracefully floating to safety. Your move, Jason Statham. Check out the full video to see the full video.
Well, folks, that's just about going to wrap it up for this episode of Yolk'd. It's been a fantastic one. Thank you very much for watching. And I did want to point out, this is our 30th episode of Yolk'd.
That's right. To celebrate, leave 30 comments in the section below and like the video 30 times.
Just make sure your comments are phrased in 30 words or less.
That's right. You know what, Paul? That's really great of us to do that, but I wish there was something more that we could do to celebrate this milestone even further.
Well, Kyle, as it happens, I do have something special planned just for you.
Oh yeah? What's that?
Happy 30th episode!
Oh my...
That's going to wrap it up, guys. Thanks you very much for watching, and you've just been yoked. Ow!